Okay, well, it's recording.
There we go. Okay. I forgot to do not disturb.
Too much?
Maybe a little bit.
Should I take off my glasses so there's not a
No.
flare? I can't see.
Flare?
But it's fine.
No, put it back on, dude.
Oh, yeah. We're going no glasses.
I wear them all the time. All right. Very nice.
All right. Game on.
Game on. Welcome to the show, dude.
Thank you.
It's about time.
It's been a minute.
Listen, this is I've had Drew on a couple times.
Yeah.
And we've tried scheduling something. This is my second brother. Not my second brother, but he's my oldest brother.
I'm the first brother he ever had.
I've talked about you a lot on this podcast. With Swello and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
well, we have a lot to talk about.
We have a lot. And I'm excited.
Yeah. Also, I think to kick this episode off.
Yeah.
And the hot topic for today.
Yeah.
I wanted us to match, so I brought you a gift.
No way. Okay.
So I figured we gotta do today's episode in cowboy hats.
That's the only way to do it. All right. I feel like
you
the
look
real
good.
deal. Yeah, look at that.
You look really good.
Little hat tip. Should we try and talking accents the whole time?
I mean, whatever
Probably not.
gets the people going.
Also
you know
sponsored by Element. This is new. We're not actually, but soon. I'm an ultra marathoner. We'll
I
get
don't know
it.
if you ever drank one of these. You obviously have, but the people watching this,
Yeah.
they're very good, but they're also terrible at the same time.
It's like you're drinking flavored salt. That's really it.
It's like going to the beach,
Yeah. Sweet salt.
getting something a little sweet in there. I like it.
Yeah. Oceanside, man.
Yeah.
All that good stuff. But seriously, thanks for coming on. I'm excited.
I'm stoked to be here. Yeah, I think Brett's invited me 20 times, and I finally said, "To hell with it. Let's do this.
Let's do it." So,
But if we're doing it in cowboy hats.
in cowboy hats. That's right. I feel like
That's how Daddy does it now.
Do you want me to edit that out or no?
No, I want that in there. I want
Okay.
people to know I'm Daddy.
He's dead. Do some more ASMR. That's good.
No. That's
viral.
That's
It
all
goes
you
viral.
get. That's all you get.
But sweet, dude. Yeah, I mean, we just came back from your son making it to almost the championship.
Yeah.
Sick. Baseball.
Yeah, little league. He's 7 years old.
The Red Hawks.
The Red Hawks. We did cardboard cutouts of his face. He loved every second of it.
It was legit.
And
Threw him on our shoulders when he came out.
They won in the 5th inning.
And he hit the game-winning run.
He did, and I'm very proud.
Yeah.
It's my retirement plan.
There
So
we
I
go.
have high hopes for him.
And Norman, if you're listening to this in the future, you better get your act together.
Yeah, don't let me down.
But we love you so much.
don't let
forget
Daddy down.
Well, dude, I'm most excited about this because there's a lot that's gone on with you over the past 10 years.
Yeah,
7 years, we'll say.
sure.
With Swello and all that stuff, and now, still in marketing, but doing other things.
Yeah.
Getting new hobbies, which I'm all excited to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
But let's go back to when I was up in Rexburg,
Okay.
and you were starting to get some side jobs for advertising. That was the beginning of Swello.
It was.
What?
You were employee number one, baby.
That's right. Yeah, that's all I'll say. Never mind. I won't go that way. But yeah, it's true. I remember it was cool because I was up in college. I was working at Frozen Dessert Supplies.
Yeah.
Great place.
Represent, if you're listening,
Yeah.
FDS for life.
Saw you guys made it to Idaho's top 10 places to work again. Congrats. Amazing. It's pretty good.
Dude, this is actually a pretty good flavor.
Lime. Not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was cool because I was in college and I remember you called me and you're like, hey, listen, I got this idea. Can you run ads? And I was like, I don't know. I can probably figure it out.
Yeah.
And I started doing a couple for, I think it was a dentistry and a few other things. But we'd talk every night and we'd try and build businesses together. Hello Stevie, I think was our first one.
Yeah.
Tell people about Hello Stevie. What was that?
Well, yeah, I guess to back up, Brett and I have tried building 5 businesses together.
Yeah.
And yeah, one of them was a brand, which was actually a pretty sick clothing brand. I think the Instagram's still around if you want to go check it out.
Yeah.
But it's called Hello Stevie. And we designed like surf and skate style designs. And we were using like a third party like a printful, I think is what it was called.
Yeah, Printful.
To print on demand. And we got like some good orders. We got some people pretty stoked on them.
Yeah.
We had my favorite design was the cheese grater that says, I think it said stay shredded or get shredded.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a popular print. I don't know. We did a lot of cheese themes, actually. There's another cheese, like triangle skateboarding, doing the hang loose sign.
That was good.
So a lot of cheese.
Yeah. It was fun, though.
That's why it didn't take off. Too much cheese.
Yeah, everyone's like, what is Hello Stevie?
Like,
why is cheese?
Hello Stevie, and why do they like cheese
We're
so
secretly
much?
rats. But, I mean, it's cool because, like, we have done a lot of stuff like that together. And you've always had, like, an entrepreneurial bone in your body.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from? Because I've always seen you grinding, like,
I don't know.
all the time.
I don't know. I just like working hard.
Yeah.
You know, and I have ADHD, I think. not no doctor's ever said that, but I've said that. So that,
or Rossell's, it makes sense.
Working hard and a little bit of distraction, I get down some rabbit holes, and usually that ends up with me being like, that's an idea that could be a business. And
yeah.
I don't know, we started all those, like we worked at FDS.
Yeah, dude, you built that thing. I mean, that's what was cool about it.
We literally built an office up in Rexburg, like which I didn't know how to do either.
Right. You guys
one of my
were
buddies did, but
yeah, you were in a small office, right?
Yeah, and then we built out a warehouse and hired a bunch of team members, and so I mean, like, I don't know, I felt like I've always been a builder.
Yeah.
Somebody that likes to go above and beyond what the status quo is and push myself. And now, granted, I've had that, and I would say I have failed 150 times. But
I mean, it's part of it.
It is part of it, and I enjoy that sometimes.
Right,
sometimes those failures sting a little bit more than others, but
yeah,
I don't know. I honestly don't know where that came from. Like, we didn't grow up with entrepreneur parents.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't, like, I don't know. Our grandpa was a farmer, which is an entrepreneur. Yeah. Maybe that came from that, but
I think it really is the hard work thing. Cause like, same thing with me. Like, I've never had, entrepreneur parents. We came from the same ones.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted to work hard. Maybe that's true. We never know.
You are a lot better looking than me. So.
Well, I don't know about that. I can't rock a cowboy hat as good as you. It's true.
We'll let the viewers decide.
Yeah. Kind of looks like a sombrero on me. I like it though.
That with the mustache.
And the mustache. Yeah.
I can call you the Cuero, I think.
Yeah, Nacho.
Yeah.
But no, dude, I think it's cool. And back to the story of the ads. What was like, because I don't think I've actually asked you this, like, what was the thought process of, hey, I'm going to start a business?
I don't know.
Scary. And you had a kid at the time.
Yeah, I had a kid. There were a couple things. Like, one, I've gotten laid off one job my entire career, and the job that let me go, I remember going home to my wife and kids, or kid, because we only had one at the time, and just feeling like I never want to feel that again.
Yeah.
So that was like a big driver for me, like, hey, I'm going to be my own entrepreneur. And then at the same time that was happening, I was starting to collaborate and consult and work with all these other businesses. I think at the time I was working with like 4 different businesses. And one of the people that we were working with, we hired an agency to go out and do Facebook ads. And he spent like $8,500, which to me at the time was like crazy.
Yeah.
Like the numbers I deal with now, we literally spend that.
It's like a day.
In like half a day. Yeah. So like, but I remember he spent $8,500 and he had 0 results. And I remember being like,
lead generation? Is that what it was?
No, this was e-commerce. When like Facebook ads and e-com were just kind of taking off. And this guy's like, oh, we'll crush it. And he kept saying, we'll crush it, which drove me nuts. And then we got like no sales, spent all this money. And this one guy that I was helping with, he like maxed out his credit cards to run these ads and pay this guy. And I remember being like, I could do that better. Like, I know enough about websites. I know enough about advertising and like creating content. And I was like, I think I could do that better than these schmucks that I'd been dealing with. And so that kind of like evolved with me, like pushing myself a little bit further to learn those things and start doing it in some of those side gigs. And then I got to enough, like, I think at the time I was doing like, I don't know, $15,000 a month in revenue. And I was like, I'm crushing it. I'm like, I could do this. And then that kind of started Swello.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I remember I had to do the same thing. Watch YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Do all that kind of stuff. Asked you how to do it. And then I remember like one time you called me and you're like, if we're going to do this thing, like, I know we could. Like I think you had 2 or 3 clients at the time.
Yeah.
Like, if we're going to do this thing, you got to move down to Arizona. And it was like a no-brainer for me because all my Rexburg experiences. Yeah. I was like, I'm coming down.
It was like 2 weeks later. You're like, hey, I'm here.
I'm back. And then we started building out the office, which was wild. But
I'll never forget that, Brett. Looking over at you, and we just got these like standing desks from Costco, $200, whatever per desk, and we were like, this is so sick.
We got this.
We're setting it all up. First thing I think we did, we put lights up in the rafters.
LED lights, dude.
Dude, that was such a fun experience.
It was so fun. The whole thing. The whole journey was like so fun, but pretty hard.
It was hard, but it was fun. It
was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, tell me about the Swello journey. Like, so now we're in Arizona. We're building out this office. We expanded a lot. It took 3 years to do that, but like we grew a team. Yeah. Was it 23 people?
I can't remember.
Yeah, something like that. But it's just started with.
If you count all the interns, you count all the.
That's fair.
Our own internal people. You count all the people we outsourced. Like, I have no idea what that ended up being.
It's pretty crazy, though.
Yeah, I mean, it went from a few small clients to like kind of up-leveling our clients over time.
Yeah.
At the time, I brought in a business partner as well. And that first year, we were up to like 7 or 8 people.
Yeah.
And a little like that. I wish people could see this. I wish we had a picture of it. Maybe you
I can add them. Yeah, I can
add a picture. People need to see our first warehouse, or our first office. But it was like somebody built a loft in like a really nice office, but there was like a loft where there's like rafters, and it was a big open space, and then a closet,
and then a random closet
that we like put like a TV and couch in for some reason.
So good.
Yeah, like we grew out of that pretty fast. And then I remember we were running around with a commercial real estate guy and looking at different spots, and we found this one spot that was like such a deal. It was huge.
Yeah, all
the desks in it, all the furniture in it.
Had a garage,
and had a big old bay door and a garage. And I remember coming back to you guys after we had signed it and being like we like circled up. You remember this?
I remember, dude. It felt like we were doing something huge.
Oh, it was like, man, we're freaking doing it. And at the time we were growing like really, really fast, and we were investing a lot of money and spending a lot of money. And that was, I think if looking back, like, I do wish that we were a little more cautious, because who knows what had happened. But we were growing and spending to grow and working to grow. Yeah, I remember sitting around being like, guys, we just got this office. We're doing this. And it just felt crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts.
And
I remember when we moved in, that was like one of the most fun days, because we were like, this is our office. This is going to be sick.
Yeah.
And they left all the desks in there, right?
Yeah.
Like all the cubicles
they left everything. And they're all nice standing desks.
Yeah.
And excuse me, we had a large conference room and a bunch of other. It was a cool setup.
I do remember that. Like when we first walked in there, and like Drew and I set up our stuff in the corner, like starting the ads team. Brandon and all those guys were behind us. And I just remember like being at that size of a desk, and I was like, this is crazy. Like we're moving up.
Oh, look at this.
And it was cool, because I was, what was cool at the time is like, hey, you took a chance on me, because I didn't know how to do any of that stuff. Like, and you're like, learn how to do it, come down here and start building this thing out. And it was cool to see like the actual results help the clients out. And I mean, we had some difficult ones, but
we learned the hard way.
I know, it's interesting. Like, just do your research. Like we were so focused on like, let's just close the deals.
Yeah.
Like let's get anyone we can, which makes sense. Startup mentality, like take who you can.
Yeah.
But I think that's how you learn a lot of hard lessons. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
you know what's cool about working with you? I could always trust that you would learn what you needed to do to be successful. It was like,
it means a lot.
Like you and Drew. It's like anytime we got big clients, I was always like, they've got them.
Yeah.
And like I just trusted you to handle it. And most of our successes came from that. You know what I mean?
It was cool. It was really cool. I mean, I remember, I don't know, we probably can say it, Belong Designs, like those guys.
Oh, they're the
like,
OG.
They're like,
love them.
my favorite
Go
story.
check them out. There's our plug.
Yeah, Belong Designs. They're sweet. But that was cool because they started like tiny and now they're huge. Like, I don't think we helped them get to like that max level, but we definitely helped them get started. And it was just cool, like doing that together. And
met them at a trade show.
Yeah.
In Colorado. Hung out for a little bit. You know, and we actually worked with them multiple times over a few years too.
Yeah.
So
I remember that. Yeah. After Swello closed down, they were still using us.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something we could talk about is what happened. How come we're not doing Swello anymore?
Kind of depends on who you ask.
Yeah. Well,
Everybody has their own perspective. Everyone has their own story on this. But it ultimately for me came down to trusting the wrong people. And alongside that, like, I don't know, not knowing enough about like a proper growth strategy.
Yeah.
You know, and how to cash flow a business to pay for that growth.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't in the finances. I wasn't paying attention. You know, I didn't really even know what a P&L was. I didn't know, you know, how to categorize those losses like that it wasn't at the time. It wasn't even my responsibility. You know what I mean? I was all sales. I was all product which was our services. But yeah, so not really having my pulse or finger on that, and then trusting someone that I thought I could trust.
Yeah.
Who ultimately made the final call to close our business. And so, I don't know, essentially what had happened is we had overinvested or overgrew our team.
Yeah.
And, you know, we weren't profitable. We were close. We were working on some really big clients. Like really big.
Dude, I remember that. That's
some very exciting brands to be working with, and the future looked really, really solid. And then within a few days, a couple of people that owned majority equity in that business made the call to shut it down, and then it's gone. So,
yeah, which sucks because it was also like during COVID when all this happened.
It's during COVID,
and so it's just storm after storm. Because then, like, you know, we all had to. I remember the last day. That was one of the worst. That was tough.
Yeah. The day it happened, my wife was out of town. I called her, said, "Hey, we're closing down the business," which was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy to do it that way within days, right? It didn't even take a chance to try and like trim up expenses or kind of redesign like our business structure. Or
I remember because there was time.
Pricing. Yeah. Like there were so many levers we could have pulled on, but instead it was just like, boom, sat down one day, we're done, called my wife, "Hey honey, we're done."
Yeah.
You and Drew came over, sat you guys down, said, "Hey, I want to let you know we're going to be done. We're closing tomorrow," letting everyone know.
Yeah. And
then I didn't sleep that night. Woke up the next day, crying like a baby.
Dude, that was a tough conversation. I remember that one.
The whole thing. I just felt like I let everyone down, including so many people that I trusted who trusted me. You know, not just my brothers, but like other people that I really, really loved and loved working with. I'll never forget that day. It took me years, still working through that day.
Yeah,
to be honest. You know, we let everyone know. Everyone was so gracious and loving to me, which was like I was ready to just take the punches on the way out. I was so ready for it. But everyone gave me like a lot of love.
Yeah, dude,
a lot of love that day.
I think it comes down to the way that you like led the team. Like it was, hey, we're gonna have fun, but we're also gonna work like super hard. Like that's the whole point of this thing. And then you would always like make sure to take care of everyone, make sure they're good to go.
Yeah.
You check in on them, like you had personal relationships with everybody. And I think also like when you sign up for a startup, that's always a risk. But yeah, I mean, doesn't make it easier. Like I'm sure like feeling that internal, like, man, I let a lot of people down.
It messed me up, and I think most of it just came down to me being so grateful to the people that trusted and joined our team, ended up getting screwed over. And like it still ended really well. Like, I mean, we still had enough money to run a payroll, and like, I got to give my former business partner credit. Like, he handled a lot of that, and it's still like, it wasn't like we just actually screwed people over, but just letting people down. Like, I'll just never forget that, and then not just that same day I called all of our clients, which was like, I don't even remember at the time, but it was high. It was above 50 clients.
Yeah, we had a ton.
And I called every single one of them that day and let them know, hey, we're working through this. If there were like, we, had to make some things right with some of the clients, work through those. I tried to like, be like, hey, we still have people that work for us that could freelance for you, and try to like make those connections. But yeah, I mean, I've never had been so beat up in one day. It was
tough.
It's brutal.
It was hard to watch, honestly, because like that was, I mean, you have kids, but that was one of your babies.
Yeah.
And it was like, I just remember we spent hours and hours.
I slept at the office.
Do you remember when we pulled an all-nighter? We drank I don't know, 12 energy drinks or something?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I don't know if Drew was there, but like we were grinding. That was when we were in the loft one.
Yeah. I sold a $20,000 website, and in 2 days I built it.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
crazy.
I didn't leave the office.
That's crazy.
Like, there is all sorts of stuff that we were doing like that, and then doing sales calls, doing projects, doing like, dude, the amount of time we all invested in that for it to just be gone in minutes, that was probably the hardest part.
It was tough.
Gave almost 4 years of our lives just grinding.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it is, like 4 years, but like, I mean, we learned so many lessons during that time. And this is a tough question to ask, because I think you probably need some time to think about it. But like, do you have like, what was your biggest lesson you learned during this event, or just a couple things that, like, I don't know, you look back and you're like, yeah, I'm glad that I learned this from that experience. Like, I'm better for it because of it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a really tough question, because there were so many things that I learned.
Yeah.
Like, business-wise, business acumen-wise.
Yeah.
All the way to like leadership-wise, to, like my own skill sets. Like, I was doing a lot of those services still. Yeah. Even when I'd sell a website and I'd go build a website, or I'd sell a photo shoot and I'd direct a photo shoot. Like, and I'm not even a photographer. So like, there were so many things that
was cool.
that I learned skill set wise, but I don't know. I do not know how to answer that.
That's fair. That's okay.
It's a hard question.
It's a tough one.
Because it's just a million little things into one big experience that has ultimately made me who I am today. And, I'm really grateful for those, like all those experiences.
Would you say doing it made you a better person?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
That's cool.
It challenged me at the end, especially the way it went down. Because here's like the biggest thing is I put so much time into that, and it was like another baby of mine.
Yeah.
But like, it also was my personality.
It's kind of true. There's a lot of that
like
in the business.
The swag, the merch we had, to like
all the skateboards on the wall, dude.
Like all of our culture, like all the work I'd put into it. Like it was like a piece of me, and that piece died that day. Like, actually died. I felt it die. And I don't know. It took me a long time to come out of that and figure out who I am.
Yeah.
And what I want, for my life, my family, my career, for fun. Like it,
I mean, I've seen that spark come back though. And I think a lot of it's like, there you go. Let's talk about how you found that. Let's get into this journey a little bit.
Okay.
Because I think, it's like, how long has it been? 3 years? 4 years?
It might be, I think it was 2020 or 2021.
Yeah. 2021.
It's been at least 4 years.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I remember that time because, like, it was just really difficult for everyone. But, like, 4 years is a long time to go through a period where you're like, I don't know really who I am. Like, I lost this, personality that I'm invested in this business.
Yeah. Especially as a 30-year-old.
Yeah, that's tough, dude. That's crazy.
Like having like 4 kids, being 30 years old and being like, who am I?
Yeah.
That's tough.
I mean, I feel like everyone runs through that at some point, but
dude.
I still am trying to figure out who I am. That's why I'm running so much. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But tell me about that. How'd you find it?
Yeah. No, this is the fun part. So I don't know. Like, I'm still figuring myself out.
Yeah,
straight
we
up.
all are.
I have no problem admitting that. I have no problem saying that. But like coming out of Swello,
yeah,
I did some consulting jobs. I went and worked in a marketing law firm, which don't do that. Don't recommend it.
I remember those stories. Those were good too.
Rough industry, really rough industry, but good learning experiences there too. And then now I work at a wallpaper company, Wallblush. TM.
It's legit.
Go check them out.
Yeah, it is sick.
If you need any wallpaper, I'll hook you up. Just slide in my DMs. Want to be Cowboy on TikTok?
Yes.
So like my career is kind of like I've gone through these steps. And I'm starting to find where I'm at. I'm at such a great place career wise.
Yeah.
I work with amazing people. I really enjoy what I do. But there's still like that piece of me. Like I went through anxiety. I went through depression. Like. In the last 4 years, I've gained some weight in all the right places, ladies. But I mean, seriously, yeah. I went through that, and like in all that, like I'm trying all these different things.
Yeah,
like I was like really into wake surfing for a bit. My buddies all had wake surfing boats, and before I was like really into mountain biking. I was like trying to get back into that, and I'm like I'm gonna be this person and that person.
Yeah.
I'm like trying all these hobbies and things, and like nothing stuck, and I was freaking miserable.
Yeah.
And then at the beginning of this year, this is like all very recent. I set a goal for myself. It's like, I'm going to learn how to team rope.
That's so cool. How come? You got to explain the backstory.
All right. Okay. And I'm jumping around here a bunch. So this might be your least watched episode. And that's fine.
It'll be good. Come on.
Or listened to is a podcast, right?
I mean, yeah, it's both.
Okay.
Both on
all
this.
Right. Okay.
We're stepping it up.
Cool. So anyways, first off, we come from farmers.
Yeah.
Riggs Road here in Arizona. That's our mom's maiden name, where Riggs is. Old farmers. Our great grandpa was a World Series champion team roper.
Yeah.
And one of my heroes. So like we grew up going up to our cabin or going out to his place and riding horses. Yeah. And always thought I was a cowboy. Like there's a picture of me wearing checkered slip-on Vans on the back of a horse with a cowboy hat, like posing real sexy somewhere.
That's pretty sick.
See if I can get that one to you for your podcast as well.
I'll put up 2 pictures, one of that and then one of me and Papa.
Yeah,
we'll put them up.
Yeah, rip. We miss Papa.
Rest in peace. Put that.
Yeah, but so we grew up with that. But in junior high, a guy in our neighborhood, his name's Dave Hastings, another hero of mine, called me up and was like, "Hey, I need some help around my property," and he owned a big roping arena, a big house. He had some team roping horses. Him and his boys are incredible ropers.
I was just about to ask. Oh,
excuse me.
There you go.
I hit some of this. You can edit that out, right? The coughing.
No, it's all in here. This is
okay.
It's a raw podcast.
Yeah, this is great.
Raw.
We do raw. TM. So, anyways, he called me up. I went over there, started shoveling horse crap.
Yeah.
Driving his dummy around. I learned a lot about roping, actually. I go run the chutes.
Yeah.
Run the steers up.
Exercise the horses too,
I'd
right?
exercise the horses, which was a blast. I get on a quad, chase them around with a whip. There's so many times they came close to like kicking me too and stuff. It was awesome. I learned all these things. Oh, it was great.
I'd knock you out.
But then I like did a lot of the horse care and washing them and picking their feet and saddling them and I don't know, just all the cowboy stuff. And so that was my job. Like I did that in junior high. There's a little bit of a gap where I stopped, and then all through high school until I was 18. Like I was out there doing that 3 times a week.
And I remember that. I always thought it was cool because I was like, I don't know. I always just looked up to you during those times because you'd leave super early, right? You'd get there pretty early.
Well, it depends.
Yeah.
Like one time I got there at 3 a.m. to castrate steers.
Oh, there you go.
Right before high school. I'll never forget that.
What was that like?
Oh, that was sick. Castrating steers was so fun.
Is that the rubber band thing?
Or no, they rope
straight up.
Dude, they rope the head, rope the legs. I'd run over and flip it on its back. They'd stretch them out. And then Dave Hastings would come up with a razor blade knife.
No way.
Slice them out and then put a freaking rubber band on it so it wouldn't bleed out.
That's real cowboy stuff.
I'll never forget, actually, he sliced the tip of I don't know if I can say this on your podcast, but
you can.
Of its nutsack and threw it at me and said, "There's your coin purse, Blake."
No.
Didn't keep it.
You should have. Dude.
I should have. I wish to this day I would have. But yeah, those were the kinds of lessons I was learning. Yeah. So, we talked about hard work. Like that for me was where I learned to work hard. Yeah. Like 115 degrees and I'm out there picking weeds, working his garden, taking care of the horses, like such hard work. And, that's why Dave's one of my heroes is he taught me how to bust my butt and enjoy doing it. You know what I mean? Like I look back at that experience and I didn't hate it. Like I enjoyed putting my cowboy hat on and sweating.
You'd leave every day with like a gallon, like cooler, like one of those igloo things, a gallon of water. And I always remember I was like, that's so much. There's no way he like drinks the whole thing. But now I do the same. But like insane. I always thought that was like the coolest thing for some reason as a kid.
The water. You've always liked water.
Yeah, but you set a good example. Like you wake up, you get like put your boots on, like you said, go to work.
I loved it. It's great. So yeah, that's why like for me, I'm like thinking about this next year and what I want to do. And it just was kind of calling to me. I'm like, I'm going to learn how to rope. I'm going to learn how to team rope. And my goal this year is to buckle.
Really?
To go to like a jackpot, or I probably won't go do a rodeo, but like a local jackpot where they've got, usually they'll have like a saddle, a breast collars, some cash, buckles. But I want to get myself my buckle. So,
well, whenever that is, tell me and I'll come down. But,
hell yeah.
Let's talk about that for a second. Because one thing that, I don't know, I notice a lot of people deal with, including myself, is when they're in a spot where they're like, they feel lost in a way. And they're trying to explore hobbies, kind of like you were. Like, I'm going to do wake surfing, I'm going to mountain bike. And it's a lot of fear comes with it. It's like, I'm going to try something new. I'm going to look like a beginner. I might look like an idiot, but I'm willing to try it. Did you feel that?
No.
Really? You're just, I'm going in.
What's the worst that's going to happen?
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I don't have those kinds of fears. I don't care how stupid I look.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the kid at the beach that's like digging a hole. I'm 35 years old. Like, I don't care. I'm doing
We're good at
fun.
it though.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I was just like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it. Like, I really feel excited about it.
Yeah.
And so found a place and went to it and started roping a bucket, getting the fundamentals down. Yeah. It was like, I don't know, 3 months before I got even on a horse.
Really? Actually that long?
Yeah. We're just roping on the ground and they're walking me through all sorts of stuff that like I already knew because I've been around team ropers my whole life. But like every time I went, I was like, oh, that was fun. And then I'd go home and I'd practice on my dummy and like work on my fundamentals, work on what I was learning. And now we're here today and I'm roping live steers.
And you bought a horse.
And I bought a horse. So this is like, what is it? It's May.
Yeah.
It's like five months from being like, I'm going to get a buckle to like, now I own a horse. His name's Mickey. He's 20 years old. He's the perfect horse. They call him.
I still need to meet him.
Oh, you got to meet him. But yeah, they say he has training wheels. I don't know what that means. But all the guys I rope with, who are actually legit, really good ropers, out roping every weekend and winning.
I mean, those guys are nuts. Like,
they are
that
nuts.
side of Mom's family, like Grandma Karen and all the I can't remember their last name. Reeds.
Kirby.
There. Thank you.
All
the Kirbys, like I remember going to the, Christmas party at little grandma's house and they all have like massive belt buckles. And I'm like, I feel weird showing up here in my Volcom hoodie, but it was cool. It was cool to see. So anyways, you found those guys.
Yeah, well, so the story's kind of crazy, actually. So I started doing this clinic. I was just roping the ground. I ended up getting on a horse like 2 or 3 times during this time. But I was starting to get frustrated in the process because I'm like, I want to rope. I want to rope.
Yeah.
I want to get on a horse. I want to rope a live steer. I want to, or a dummy even. I just wanted to rope on the back of a horse. And I was talking to my boss. My boss was like, hey, my brother-in-law is a big roper. Like, I'll meet you out there. Let's go to his place. So I'm like, okay. Like thinking I'm going to go out there and run the shoot. Well, first off, I go out there. The guy's incredible. His name's John. He's like, ride this horse. Super expensive, beautiful head horse.
Yeah.
Like he's top notch. Like he's such a smooth, beautiful horse. Well, I go out there, get on the horse, and I rope a steer and turn it. Never done that in my life.
What does turn it mean?
Like you dowley the horn and you turn the steer across the arena so that the heeler can come in and rope the heels, and then you tie him up and get your time.
That's sick.
So I rope one that night, but then the other side, I go up to this one guy who it looks as cowboy as he gets.
Yeah.
I go up to him like, hey, yeah, so I heard you're a really good roper. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I come from Kirby blood.
Yeah.
Like, and I thought it was the coolest thing. And he goes, well, I come from Kirby blood.
Really?
I'm like, okay, that's weird. Who's your mom?
Yeah.
I'm like, Cammie Kirby.
Really?
Which is Uncle Ricky's daughter.
Yeah.
So he's our cousin. So I'm like, oh, we're related. This is crazy.
What the heck, dude?
So since then, yeah, and that's who I've been training with. That's who I bought my horse from. And he's actually a performance horse trainer.
Yeah.
And he's gotten me all the way to a point where I like roped one that night, which I should not have roped one, but like my adrenaline was so high and I was like committed. First one I missed, second one I got, I felt like $1 million. And that horse did a lot of the work too, which the horse is supposed to do that.
They know to like chase the steers.
Oh,
horses do?
Yeah, they react to slight pressure.
Huh.
Between like when you're in the box and you just put your reins down a little bit, they'll take off. That means they know to get up on the steer. And then once you catch them, you turn them a little bit and put your reins down, and they'll turn. Like a good horse that's broke and trained knows.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
And you learn to trust that, because at first I was not. I'm like jerking the horse around. But anyway, so like I went from not being able to rope to being able to rope. I try to rope once a week, sometimes twice, but I'm training and roping every single week, and
that's so cool.
Learning a lot of great things, and my family's into it now.
That's been fun to see, actually, too.
Oh, it's so great.
Yeah.
It's so great, that side. But like I still haven't hit my goal yet, but like just getting in there and grinding and exploring and meeting people, like met so many cool people that are down to earth. Just good people that are giving me tips and helping me along the way, and it's been a blessing.
That's so cool.
That's
so cool. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know actually that much about roping and like what goes on with it, but
neither did I.
It's pretty cool. Like it's tough, dude.
It's tough. Last week I roped with a guy. I had the steer perfectly. I turn him. My partner comes up, ropes the heels, comes up to me, and he's cursing. He's like, Blake, his thumb stuck down between the rope. He almost popped his thumb off.
Oh, that's what happened to Uncle Ricky.
Oh, yeah, it popped right off.
Oh.
But he ended up being fine. But, I mean, like, you experience... I got kicked in the knee by a steer. Like, there's...
Did you really?
Oh, yeah.
What's the craziest story that's happened so far? Or your favorite story?
I bulldogged a steer a couple of weeks ago with my back was out.
Bulldogged it?
You wrap your arms around the head and flip it on its back.
Oh wait, you sent videos of that. That's nuts.
Those were
your back was blown out?
Oh yeah, my back was out. I was sideways and I freaking jumped on the back of one and flipped its head.
When your back goes out, you're walking sideways for a long time. That's actually very impressive. I'll give you kudos to that.
Thank you.
That's good. But that's cool, man. I mean, what has that done for like your mental health? Like brought you back to finding out who you are? Like make that connection. Like what was that like?
I don't know, man. It's
always been something that's in your life, like horses. Like I remember riding with Papa. Yeah. I remember you going to the Hastings, and like it seems natural. You're like right back into it.
I mean, that's what it feels like. Obviously, I never really lived the cowboy life. I never really roped, and I would ride a couple times a year versus a couple times a week. Mentally, I'm the best I've ever been.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm locked in my life too. Not just like it's brought me out of a place like that funk that I found myself in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
It's like I feel emotional saying that because like it was hard. There were times I was like, screw this. This is too tough.
Yeah.
So to be able to say, hey, I'm feeling really good in my brain. It's incredible. But just like the rest of my life, you know, it's like I'm out there, I'm working hard again out in the arena.
Yeah.
And like doing all the, like I'm still going out there and shoveling shit, which is freaking awesome. But then in my work life and like some of my other passions and like my like entrepreneurship's kind of coming back into my life a little bit where I'm working on some projects again, you know, whether they make me money or not. Just finding something that I'm passionate again about. Like I go to bed thinking about roping and I'm sitting there watching roping videos.
That's so cool, dude.
You know, it's brought me back to a very good place. So like just finding your passion, no matter what it is so important. I think to just living your life, you know, in a way that's driving you.
Absolutely. Like
no matter what it is,
you got to figure out what you want to get after and then commit to it.
I mean, look at your life, dude. Like you're a freaking ultra marathon runner, and you're doing some crazy. You're about to go do a crazy one this year. You know, it's like, and that drives you. And all of these successes on your other side of your life, like they follow. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think it's like, I don't know. I always tell Allie, she always gets annoyed at this, but I'm like, it's a great metaphor for life because some days are up, some days are down. Like your body hurts, you don't want to do it. Some days are great. Like you never really know. And, but that's the thing is like, I want to see how hard I can push myself. And like, I've realized that those lessons where it's like, okay, well, this run sucked. This one was good. It's the same thing with like my days. Like I'll have good days, I'll have bad days, but I know it'll always end. Like I know the next day will come and there's always something I can like take from this day. But like, I mean, I found running like 3 years ago, I would say, like right after I was getting healed up from being sick and stuff. And, I don't know. It's just like, there's something about that. It requires discipline that I love. And like, it's always a battle with yourself. So it's like, if I can overcome that, then
I can overcome anything.
I can handle whatever comes like during the day. So, but to your point about like the passion, like it's so important to find that. And like the same thing with the podcast, I've noticed days or phases when like, it's not like, it's kind of in the backseat and then I'll work on it more. And then I feel that same passion, like, cause I love hearing people's stories. I love like seeing if I can help some people learn lessons in their lives. And like, I feel like I'm, lighting up almost. And so you got to have a passion. Like, and it's so important to find something that interests you that you can keep doing for a long time, that you don't get burnt out on, because like there will be days at work when you're like, don't want to do this. Yeah. And I'll be honest, like, and I'm sure this is the same way with like roping. Like the podcast sometimes does feel like a grind, but it's one that like I'm excited to chase. Yeah. It's like I'm willing to do the work.
It doesn't matter how hard it is. You just keep, you're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's huge. And I don't know, man, it makes me so happy to hear that, because the last few years have been tough to watch. Honestly, it was like your brother. It's been tough,
but tough to live, tough to watch, tough to, I don't know.
But I mean, like, I think you are like like you said, like it's been awesome. I always have this version of you that's like one of my favorites is Vacation Blake, like Party Blake.
Oh, he's still around.
He's been around a lot more, and I love it.
He still likes to play.
He's coming out this wedding.
Yeah, we're going to a wedding this weekend, but more importantly, we're going on a cruise.
Oh yes,
and talk about content. You're going to have some good stuff coming out of the cruise.
Honestly, yeah, we'll get some. Maybe we can just go up and interview random people on the boat. Be like, "What's been your favorite thing? How many drinks have you had today?" Yeah. Do you think I'm sexy?
In our special suits that we're ordering.
Man, have you ordered yours yet? I think I'm behind, but I got to do it. I'm going Miami Vice.
Yeah, I'm going all gold, I think.
I love it, dude. There we go.
Yeah. So,
but that's sick, dude. I mean, if there's someone out there who's like, I want to try something, but they're unsure to do it, what would you tell them? Like, they're like, man, I want to start baking, but I'm not a baker. I don't have the time. Like, they make all these excuses.
Can I look up a quote?
Yeah.
On my phone? Is that right?
You can look up a quote for sure.
So this comes directly from one of my mentors, my roping mentors.
All right. I like this. Which roping mentor?
I'm going to leave them unnamed because of the quote.
Okay, I'm excited now.
Let's see if I can even find this quote.
I'm excited. See, I need a producer. That's I'll say, hey, Jamie, look that up. Not that level yet. We'll get there.
This is going to be like the longest cut ever.
It's okay, dude.
You're going to have to edit this out for sure.
This is the only part I'll edit out. I promise. I like everything.
Okay, so I think is it Dale Brisby?
They hauled Kai Hamilton out of this building on a stretcher. Tonight he made
Yes, it's Kai. All right, so here's the quote.
All right.
This is what I would say to someone who is struggling, scared to be a baker, scared to get out there and find their passion, scared to try something because they're embarrassed or they're too old or whatever the freaking thing that's in their head. There's a famous guy. His name's Kai. Oh, what was the... I literally just had it. His name's Kai Hamilton.
Okay.
Famous bull rider. Goes and competes in this huge bull riding competition. Gets knocked out, gets a concussion. They put him on a stretcher, take him to the hospital. Well, he says, to hell with that. Escapes the hospital, comes back, rides again, and wins it. And
are you serious?
Yes, he won it. And so they come up and give him, they're interviewing him. And, in that scenario, they're like, hey, if you would have hit your head again, you would have died. Like, what do you have to say about that? And he looked dead in the camera and he said, don't be a pussy. So that's my advice.
There you go. That's great.
Listen, like there's no, absolutely zero reason to not try something.
Life's too short, man.
It's too short.
Way too short.
It's too fast. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter where you're at in life. If you want to try something and you have a passion and you're excited about something, go live for it.
Yeah.
Because
I love that.
it's not worth it to not. So don't be a pussy. TM.
Don't be. Get after it instead. I love that, dude. That's so good. It really is. It's like, I don't know if you've ever heard the quote, fear is a mile wide, but an inch deep.
Yeah.
Like, until you step into it, you make up all the stories in your head. And once you step into it, it's like, oh, I can walk.
Yeah.
And don't tell yourself stories.
It's not that scary.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It goes for everything except for drugs. Don't do those, kids.
Yeah. Yeah. We've seen too many stories that turn in the wrong way with that one. So yeah, don't do drugs. That's a bad thing to do. But yeah, dude, I mean, it's been nice having you on here. We got to do another one of these.
I'm down anytime.
I want to,
do you have
anything else?
My only thing is we have to wear cowboy hats.
That's easy. Yeah.
That's the only request I have.
Look how good we look.
We got to look proper here.
We'll need to get like some root beers or something to drink.
Some toothpicks.
Some toothpicks and root beers, and get what are those shirts called that they wear?
Next time the podcast can be out at the ranch.
We did talk about that before. That would have been fun. Having horses go all around.
We could do that. We could do it in the pasture with all the steers. There's like 25 head of steers.
There we go.
A couple bulls.
Yeah. We can have like vegetables, so if any come by, we can try and feed them.
That would be,
be a great video.
Yeah.
But dude, anything else you want to tell someone or leave with them? It's important to you.
I don't know. I think a lot of people struggle. I think a lot of people don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just think it's okay to struggle. It's okay to be depressed, have anxiety about life. The important thing is you keep fighting, keep pushing. you know? So that's my advice.
I love it, dude.
That's all I got left is.
I mean, life is a struggle. And last thing I'll say on this is like, you have to have some form of self-induced, like, I never remember the word, but it's like you put yourself through difficult things. Like it's self-induced. Me with like, it's running, it's roping, like things that are difficult to master. Like I've tried roping before, like on a dummy, and I can't even do it on a dummy. So I can't imagine doing it on a moving horse.
I'm still working on it, bro.
But like, still, like, you know, it takes time for these things, and it is going to be a struggle, but life is a struggle. And those lessons you learn during those times help you just do life better, a little bit easier. And like you said, that fire starts coming back up. So I love it. I mean, that's such a good message. Everyone needs to hear it. And yeah, everyone struggles. It's just, how do you keep going? Yeah. Push yourself.
I love it.
Dude, you're the man.
Thanks for having me on.
You always have a
this is actually more fun than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
I kept saying, I don't know what I'm going to say.
Dude, that's just
and then I just talked way too much. So
the episode that comes out tomorrow, so my buddy Peyton Sellers, he just tells like bad dating stories the whole time. So it's great.
I have none of those.
Yeah, you're just Mr. Joe Cool over there. I've never had a bad date.
Never had a bad date.
But I love you, dude. Thanks for coming on. And everyone else, keep getting after it.
Hey, like, subscribe, so that Brett doesn't have to do OnlyFans.
I do have to do OnlyFans, and I'm going to have to wear a cowboy hat now. So it would help a lot.
Yeah, like and subscribe so Brett doesn't have to do that.
Help me out.
Yeah. Also, Jocko, please sponsor us.
Jocko and Element.
And Element. Jocko
Anyone
Fuel.
else out there, you know? Joe Rogan, have me on, maybe?
Yeah, Joey. Come on.
This is going to be a
We'll bring you a cowboy hat.
I'll bring you a cowboy hat, Joey.
All right.
Thanks, dude. I love you, man. Thank you.